Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this cast of Anara's Starcraft. It is Saturday, October 23rd, 2010. That's right, I eliminated my double from the future from yesterday's episode, so now we're not going to run into any of those, doom time paradoxes or whatnot. So, as most of you know, it is BlizzCon weekend. Hooray for that, unless you're not there. Like me. I am definitely not there, and I know there's tons of you who are not as well. So we're going to look at a 1 versus 1 today on Xel'Naga Caverns, which seems to be just the map that I end up casting a lot these days. I don't know what's up with that. But in the top right corner, we have LiquidHayprO spawning as Zerg, and then in the bottom left, we have LenaPark. I think that's how you pronounce it. We'll go with that. Spawning as the Red Protoss. So, I hope that for those of you who are at BlizzCon, you are enjoying it. I have read good things so far. Kind of interested to see what's going to go on with that Dota map. Not too sure what's the deal with that. Looking forward to some more information. If you have any sweet pictures or awesome info, of course, you can always drop it on my Facebook page. You can post photos and stuff on the front and leave us some sexy insider information for those of us who could not go. Man, I'm really bummed out about that. I really wanted to go this year, but it just didn't really work out. I wasn't able to get the time, get the money, etc. Which, I mean, I used to live in Virginia, and I used to think, man, I'd love to go to BlizzCon. If I lived out west, I'd surely go. And now I'm in Oregon, and it's like a 12-hour drive, and I still can't go. Well, probably longer than that, but whatever. Because it is still an amazing place. And I might go there someday. So, back to the game. We do have a spawning pool going down for LiquidHayprO, and he is dancing his drone back and forth at the base of the ramp, trying to prevent some pylons going down to prohibit pathing to and from the natural expansion, which he's trying to guard right now. And in the Protoss space, we have a cybernetics core going down. Nothing too unorthodox so far. No proxy positions, no crazy assimilator gas stealing or nothing like that. So pretty standard game. And I'm looking forward to see how LiquidHayprO plays in particular, because I've never actually watched a replay from him. So I guess you could say I'm a LiquidHayprO virgin. I don't know. But this game is getting underway. We do have a Stalker being chrono boosted out, and there is a rally point headed directly up to the Zerg expansion. Might see some harassment here in the very near future. Almost said so. I'm still working on that. Still doing it. And this probe still checking out what's going on. Do have a spine crawler going down. This will prevent any sort of harassment at the natural at this point. Also have some Zerglings come in. We do have 6 now additional Zerglings warping in, and 2 queens. So I'm not sure if this Stalker, which is right here now, is really going to be able to do a whole lot, especially considering there are plenty of Zerglings here. But with some good micro, he could reinforce it, take it out. We'll have to see as the engagement begins. First battle of the game. Zerglings are indeed chasing away the Stalker, who is kiting along and microing the best he can, not even trying to get some shots off. I mean, at this point, there's no point. He would just get cut off so fast, so he is continuing to run back, holding on to all of his life so far, and a little bit of shields. 2 more Stalkers have now reinforced the fight. So this battle just got a little bit harder for the Zerg player as he has split up his Zerglings, not really trying to get a surround on any one particular Stalker. And these Stalkers are being microed very well, actually, taking out all of the Zerglings without actually losing any of the Stalkers themselves. So pretty good micro there by LenaPark, whatever. Do have some more drones and Zerglings out on the way for the Zerg player. He is running off of 1 gas so far, as well as the Protoss down here. It's continuing to chrono boost out some probes. And we're going to see an expansion going down a little bit early, but that's not surprising. I'm seeing that a lot these days with Protoss players. That's just the response to the fast expansion from the Zerg. Hey, why not just get one yourself? I mean, you know that as long as you can keep pumping out the early tier units, you're going to be able to hold off any pressure, especially with the Sentry, and drop a force field at the ramp. And he's got the Forge down now, so very likely to see some cannon placements down here. Yep, this is kind of traditional building placement for this expansion, so newer players take note. This is kind of how you want to lay out your buildings when you're taking an expansion. Little tip for you guys. And Overlord going to come in, and this is pretty common as well, sacrificing an Overlord to see what is going on in your opponent's base, as we do have Hallucination being chrono boosted out now. This Overlord is going to continue to run in, and it's interesting because these Stalkers are just now responding to it, and I guess they don't really care about that. Now, they probably just sent on a move command past it, but I don't know if this Overlord is going to be able to see the expansion. Yep, he will see that there is a pylon down there, as well as a probe running away, so he also sees the Forge. He has got to know now that there has been an expansion placed by the Protoss player. Weapons 1 is on the way. Very good move right there, especially if he gets some Zealots. They'll be able to chew through those Zerglings very, very easily, as I do not believe there is an evolution chamber yet. No, there is not. There is some more gas coming on the way very soon for the Zerg player. You can see that Lena is sitting on both of his refineries now for gas. He is working on a 3rd and 4th as well. So at this point, he is just really macroing up pretty hard, not really emphasizing map control too terribly much. He does have this pack of Zerglings running around, maybe thinking he can do a little bit of a run by here, but again, you know, Lena does have a couple sentries here, and that's really going to negate any sort of attack by these Zerglings in an attempt to run by or whatnot. Instead, Liquid's just going to kick back and macro up some more, taking out these rocks. As you can see up here at the top of the base, lair is complete. And looking at the economy, you can see that the Zerg player is hurting a little bit for minerals in comparison to the Protoss player, who was able to get some more probes out, chrono boosting from both of his Nexus, as he is continuing to build more and more. These Zerglings still just hanging out here. Probably the best move is there's not a whole ton that can be done. Of course, this hallucinated Phoenix is scouting around, seeing what is going on in the top of the base. Don't really have any clear tech paths laid down just yet for the Zerg player. Although, nope, just kidding, there's a spire right there. And if I had had the production tab up 2 seconds earlier, I could have pointed that out without sounding like a retard. But whatever, that's okay. It's Saturday morning, and we're just here to have some good times. Meanwhile, Twilight Council is going down at the natural for LenaPark, and he's actually throwing down a cannon or two. Pretty good idea, considering that, you know, of course, Zerg is getting some mutas, so we might see some muta harassment in the Mineral Alliance. Also do have a cannon going down in the main base as well. And these Zerglings are going to try to do a run-by while the Protoss is not paying attention. This Twilight Council might go down. The Zerg has a pretty good surround on it. I'm thinking that, you know, the Protoss isn't going to really be able to reinforce. Of course, if the Zerg really wants to take this down, despite the cannon fire, he will. Indeed, it does go down, knocking the Protoss player back just a little bit in terms of tech. However, he was able to respawn and take out the couple Zerglings and drive the rest of them back. But the important thing to note is, meanwhile, Liquid did, you know, he sent those Zerglings in basically to keep the Protoss on the defensive and expand twice. You can see that he expanded a little bit before the attack, but he knew that the attack was going to delay the Protoss long enough to get both of those expansions down. And I'll tell you what, if he is able to take both of those expansions, really saturate them, he will be in a great position to make several strong pushes on the Protoss base. So we'll have to see as the game progresses. You can see that the Protoss player is moving out with his gateway-oriented unit composition thingy here. Wow, I'm sounding extremely intelligent here tonight. I know, whatever. He is, however, taking out this one hatchery, and he's probably thinking he's going to have to scout over to the other side of the map and make sure there's not another one. And of course, there are some Zerglings over here responding. It looks like they're just going to mount up, maybe just hit the Protoss base. You know, man, he knows that the Protoss forces are not exactly the most mobile at the moment. We do not have Blink yet, as of course the Twilight Council was taken down, being rebuilt back here, and the Zerglings and the mutas are going to run to the back of the base, maybe just do a complete run by all the way. You know, he is going to take out the Twilight Council again. Probably a pretty good move. You know, he's just trying to keep these Blink Stalkers from happening as long as possible, as he can tell that Lena is really focusing on these Stalkers, man. You can tell just by the army composition, which is a pretty good move at this point. I mean, he does know that the Zerg is going very heavy muta play. So as much as, you know, the Zerg is going to try to delay that teching as much as possible. So pretty good move there. More cannons going down. Pretty good choice, of course, you know, when you're dealing with mutalist harassment and you have this ground-based force, you cannot always be everywhere at once. So this expansion, it's looking like it's going to be pretty secure for the present time. We do have 3 spine crawlers going down. And, well, you know what? I'm not too sure. Now that he is moving out, and he's going to make a play on this just before these buildings are complete, catch them just at the right time for this attack. And you know what? Zerg is just saying, forget it. I'm going to hit the main Protoss base, take out these cannons, and really kind of punish the Protoss player for attacking my expansion. So looking at the income again, they're both roughly even. Of course, that Lena's sitting in a little bit better position, but you know, I really